Hello, guy. Hope you're doing well. It's me again, Elvis. Uh, I wanted to tell you about my background, the story of my life, and why I started working with U.S. Army. I mean, what made me to support U.S. Army in Afghanistan, and what made me to support OEF. Uh, I was born in Afghanistan, actually in a far village in central Afghanistan, and I was like very young. I don't know, probably a couple months old, that we had to fled to leave the country because of civil war, because of then, yeah, civil war, and also then Taliban. We fled Afghanistan. We went to Iran, to Pakistan, then to Iran. I lived in Iran for I think 13 years old, 13, 14 years old, for 14 years. I lived in Iran. Um I attended 1 year, I mean, first grade school there, but because of, government policy, actually, I mean, I gave them right because there was 3, 4 million refugee there in their country, and 3, 4 million Afghan refugee, and 1 million, 1.5, I think, Iraqi refugees. So they didn't. Also, they were under U.S. sanction. They did not have enough budget to cover all the students. To cover refugees also. Uh, because of that, I mean, I could attend 1 year. I mean, first grade only, and then uh, I was very smart, very 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 talent kid, very strong, very intelligent, and very smart. But unfortunately, I did not have the opportunity to use my talent. Uh, in first grade, I was very good in drawing. I mean, I used to sell my drawing to fifth grade students. During exam, they were coming to me and paying me money to draw for them. So, and also, I was very good in Arabic language, and I was very good in writing. You know, uh, I mean, uh, yeah, Persian writing. And I used to, when I was 8, 9 years old, then when I attended first grade, then after that I could not continue. Then I could not continue the school because the government did not allow, because they said we did not have enough budget. So I had to leave the school, and we were farmer. My parents, my father was farmer, and I was helping him in sometimes in going to field and to farm and grow potato, cucumber, and stuff like that. So uh, I uh, I was not at that age. I was not interested in politics. I didn't know what's going on around me, and I was in my childhood world. And then my father decided to send me to mosque to get to learn, to learn writing, and to learn, to get educated, at least better than nothing. So I learned. Yeah, better. I learned till five grade till fifth grade. I learned in mosque. I mean, not officially, but it was better than nothing. Better than remaining uneducated. It was better. Then I went to 2 years in her religious school. In Qom city, and I did not like it. I didn't like religious. I'm not a religious person. I mean, I do stuff that religion don't like. So uh, I was that time when I was 10, I think 11, 12 years old. I start a little bit, getting from two. I think, yeah, then get a little bit into politics. Not politics actually. When I was sent to march, to these protests against U.S. in Iran. Uh, when I was going, when they were chanting against America, I was not chanting, and I was praying for America, and I loved America. I believed the nonsense that they tells in media about freedom and justice and blah 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 human rights, and I used to draw U.S. flags in my notebook. It was full. I still have the notebooks at home. I think in Afghanistan it should be. It's full of I love USA, US flags, and stuff like that. It was full, and I used to wear a cap. It was US flag. In that religious environment, a very strict environment, I used to wear the cap with US flag in front of it, and I was very in love with US. My dream was to get to America, and I really believe that they are they are the master of the world. They are the best. And I also like to learn English. So I went to actually my parents, my father are against in learning English. It's a religious. My father is a religious person, so he was against that. But I like English. I like to learn English. So I went to we did not have enough. Financially we were not poor, very poor, but not very rich. We were not under uh, normal class. Under very, very close to poor. Class to poor class. So we did not have enough money that I go. I can go to that I could go to classes or stuff like that. So I went, secretly. I went to a private English class, and I went. I learned start one, start two, start three. Then it was a streamlined book. It was American method of English. Then yeah, I was 13 or 14, I think, when 9/11 happened, and I was shocked. I was really shocked because America was my dreamland, and I hated the Iran religious leader so much. And I was really, really in love with America. And then when the U.S. invaded Afghanistan, I was very happy. Oh my God, I never forget those days. Very happy. I was tracking the news every fucking single day, tracking news and collecting, taking buying American Iranian newspapers, and cutting these U.S. aircrafts, U.S. soldiers photos on it, and collecting these photos in newspaper, cutting that, these photos, collecting that as a gallery, as an album. That was my favorite. But yeah, then new government, the first Afghan government, U.S. backed government in Afghanistan were established, and they said that we can return Afghanistan and to rebuild Afghanistan. I was I was a teenage that had a strong national sense of national uh, sense of yeah, loving the country and that stuff like that. So I pushed my family to go back to Afghanistan. I with my brother, and my parents were against that because they said we have been in Afghanistan. We have seen that it won't be the NATO won't do much. but we said that I said I go to Afghanistan whether you stay or not, whether you go with or not. Then our parents really, because of us, we came back, they had to uh, ask a request from UNHCR to get back to country. So we packed everything we had after 14 years living in Iran, and we went in 2000. I think it was 2003 or 4. We returned back to Afghanistan. There, I started working as laborers, and yeah, we were totally strange with this new environment. It was Afghan traditional environment, and we were educated. We lived in Iran, in a modern country. It was hard for me, but I loved country. I loved my country. I loved NATO, and I had believed that we have bright future. So after a couple, like spending 1 year working as labor or searching for a job, and then I got a rumor that someone told me that told my brother that there are a project in U.S. In U.S. base in Kandahar Airfield, and they are they are making dock canal, and they are looking for some mason, some labor, and I and my brother applied for that, and we went there and worked 2 months, and I was trying using any opportunity to talk with mentors, with laborers there, with US guys there, with Americans there. My English was not good. I just could do, speak hi, how are you, just basic conversations. Then I worked there 2 months, and after that, the project was over, and then I started. I went to, there was another big project, and that was building Afghan National Army Base 205th Corps in Kandahar Airfield, and it was a big project. And I went there. There was a Turkish company there, and there was many other companies there. Contract International, then U.S. Army Corps of Engineering, and Orascom Asia, and many other companies, international companies. So I found a job as a supplier. And they asked me if I can supply them with the labor and with with machinery and stuff like that. I didn't have anything, but we had labor. I gathered like 30-40 labor for them, and we worked there for 2 years. I worked there with U.S. Army Corps of Engineering as a safety officer, as a supervisor, and my English got a little bit better that time. I had still a strong sense feeling to American. So I started then in 2005. I worked there till 2000. Middle of 2005 I think. I don't remember exactly. Then I left there and started couple months working as a computer, as a actually computer techniker, I think, with the Afghan National Army recruiting center, and after that, I liked military also, and so I joined police, Afghan police. Spent 3 months there. Then in 2006, I joined army. I was there in army in training. I was really, I was using any opportunity during 3 months basic training to get to talk with mentors, with Americans, with British, and with any other NATO countries, to improve my language, and I loved them. I loved them. It was just I had a thirst. Really, I was thirsty to speak with them. I had really passion to talk with them, to be with them, and yeah. And after graduating from basic training, I was sent to Afghan National Detention Facility, where we used to hold detainees, Guantanamo and Bagram detainees, Taliban, Al Qaeda detainees, and I was there then promoted to sergeant, and I met there I met a lot of cool Americans, soldiers, officers from MP, multiple different, various MP units. So I still have contact. I met there with from MP unit transfer team 366 or Bulldog Task Force. I met my honorary American mom. Her name is Susan Wyman. She's retired now, and uh, Michael Wyman and Susan Wyman. Both of them were serving in this unit, and I met them. I'm still in contact with them. They're my honorary family. They are living in Texas, and uh, they actually supported me to get to Germany. Because U.S. Army, I will come to this story why U.S. Army failed to support me then, after all those sacrifices I did for U.S. Army. Anyway, I met them there, and I really appreciate it. I'm very happy that I got to know them, and they are very best people in my life. I love them, and then after leaving army 3 years, my contract was over, and I started working as combat interpreter. My English got very good, very very good, because I was working directly with mentors, and I was improving my English. So I started working in 2009. I left army and started working with MP, not with the MEP, Mission Essential Personnel, as a combat interpreter. The company was hiring interpreters. Actually, it was also the company. I'm gonna tell you more about these corruptions, about unfair payments, violation of basic human rights by these American companies. One of them was MEP. The other one was I forgot his name. MEP was taking for each local interpreter, they were taking $3,000 US dollar from Ministry of Defense, from DOD, Department of Defense. They were taking 3,000. That was at least for each local interpreter. And how much they were paying us? $700 for mission, for such risky job. And how much they were paying a Cat 1 interpreter Cat 1 interpreter was an interpreter who had green card. They were getting $500 US dollar each day. $500 US dollar each day. And we were getting $700 per month. Like our whole salary of a month was like 1.5 day salary of a Cat 1. And we were doing the most risky job also. We were outside the wire and they were inside. We were going mission and they were staying inside. And I'm gonna tell you a lot more. I started with the first unit I worked with. It was biometric team task force, and I started working because I had biometric training. Certificate when I was in army. I started working with them. I supported them a lot. I enrolled thousands of people in biometric system, and they were really happy with my mission, with my support. And after a couple of weeks working with them, the mission was over, and I went to other unit, 10 Mountain Division, for Alpha Platoon. Then we went to Dan District Center in Dan District in south of Kandahar, and where I'm in this unit, I met Todd Das, PFC Todd Das. He was a platoon sergeant, and I'm really happy that I met him, and he's a very cool guy. He's retired. He lives in New York, and I'm in contact with him. He's like my friend, you know. And I was very honest with him with the unit. I was very honest. I was very supportive, very supportive. I was voluntarily not providing interpreter job for not only U.S. but Canadian counterparts also. Plus that, I was gathering intel. I was like working as indirectly as intel analyzer because I was local. I was a Afghan national, you know. I was a local guy, and I knew about terrain, about everything. So about the peoples, about who can fake, who was hiding something. You know, I could see in the face of people, but it was for American not easy to discover that. So also I had army training and my background that I worked as interrogator in Afghan National Detention Facility. It really helped the missions, the Alpha Platoon missions, and also I was voluntarily I was helping them with in during the checkpoints. I was helping them with biometric, enrolling the people in the biometric system, and I think much more, and much more than my actual job was, and I was getting $700 for all this I was doing, but I did not care about money. I had much obligation, sincere obligation to this mission, sincere passion to this mission. I really believed on it. Uh, yep, I'm gonna tell you in the next and second part and third part, fourth part. I will tell you more stories because there is a lot of story that I cannot tell in one part. So please watch the next part, also the next part, and follow that. And you will learn a lot of things, a lot of facts about Afghanistan, about the missions, these 20 years missions, and why it failed, and all this stuff. I'm gonna tell you. I'm honest. I'm gonna tell you all of them honestly, and I can also put. There is like my the PFC DOS, Todd DOS. He's also there. I mean, he can also confirm the stuff that I say. So I'm not making propaganda, or I'm not trying to waste your time. Telling lie or exaggerating. I'm a sincere, honest person, and I'm gonna tell you all the story honestly. See you by next video. Sorry, my English is getting fucked up because since couple of years that I live in Germany, I did not speak English, so it's sometimes I mix it now with Germany. Sometimes I forget some words. I know the words, but when I want to use it, I forget it. It happens, unfortunately. Okay, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.